It's the Adelaide Old Fart, and I'm riding with David. He's got a Royal Enfield Classic 500 with a sidecar, and as you've probably worked out, I'm sitting in the sidecar. Just off to pick up a mate. So, what do I think of the Royal Enfield Bullet? It's not my bike, it's Mick's bike in the sidecar in front of us. It's not the first time I've ridden it. I've ridden it a couple of times before. But I normally ride a Himalayan, which is very different. The Classic 500, which is what's towing that sidecar, is essentially the Bullet with a different seat. I don't think there are any other differences. So if you're familiar with the Classic 500, you'll know what this is. It's just a big single cylinder lump. It chugs and thuds away. Classic styling. It's a light, nimble bike to ride. I mean, no, it's not a sharp-edged sportster. It was never intended to be. It's a cruising style bike. Not a cruiser in the modern sense of feet forward and lazing back. It's more of a cruising around the countryside type bike, and it does that very well. The motor has got a heap of torque down low. Punches away. Very big, fat, broad torque band. In contrast to the Himalayan, which itself is extremely torquey. This has just got more of it, but it doesn't rev out, and that's okay. You don't want to go flogging this thing. Controls are easy enough to use, although the clutch does have a very late take up right out at the end of the clutch lever movement, which I find annoying because it's not quite what I'm used to. I get around that by using two fingers of it. The mirrors are 4/3 useless. That's in part because of their positioning, and in part because of the vibration. Because these old motors don't have the fancy balance shafts that the Himalayan and the Meteor have. So it does vibrate a bit. It's not a bad vibration, it's just a vibration. But it does mean that the mirrors are blurry. Apparently there are ways of running it in that get around that. This bike's come out 20,000 kilometres, possibly it's a bit late to start trying them. And I'm not going to on someone else's bike anyway. Left-hand turn, which in the sidecar is interesting because that's when the chair wheel can lift up, which apparently is very exciting for the passenger. Of course, the passenger helps keep it down, so if the chair is unloaded, the left-hand turn really raises it easily. But that's all the charm, all part of the charm of riding a sidecar. But back to this Bullet. Thanks to that fat torque band, although it's not a super high powered motor, they tow a sidecar quite easily. as David's proving with his outfit. Now, can you read the sign on the back of David's sidecar? If you think this is slow, wait until we go uphill. Yeah, so we've just filled up with petrol and we're heading off up Blacktop Road to go to One Tree Hill. Mick's apparently enjoying his time in the sidecar, which is nice because it's the first time he's ridden in one. I don't know if you ever have, but it's very different to just sitting in a car. Very physical. The chair moves around. But yeah, if you're going to be a passenger in something, a sidecar's a pretty good option. One of the conservation parks, I would imagine. Oh no, oh no, it's been planted in there. That's Crawford Forest Reserve on our right. Covers a lot of ground, that does. Registrations now due. Yeah, they've got a system these days where you get a discount if it's desexed as well. Cats have to be registered too, registered and microchipped these days, so if they find you boggy on the street, they can scan it, bring it home, no doubt offer you a nice little bill for the service, in the form of a fine. Some councils in Adelaide now ban cats being out after dusk, not all of them, but some do. I wouldn't know, my two cats are strictly indoor cats. Lost too many of them over the years being run over, and I don't think they should be out wandering around eating wildlife anyway. It's all part of the conservation reserve, so this natural bush, fairly thick in there. Don't know if you can make out what the rock formations are like as we come through these cuttings. I'm too busy steering to look too closely at it, but it's all rock. Out over the valleys. A lot of dead trees through here. They'd be from fires a few years back, I would think. But I may be wrong. We'll find out when we get closer, and if I'm not going around a corner, because I need to watch through corners. definitely tell. But I'd imagine that fire got up into the treetops and raced through the treetops. Oh, there we go, it's a pine plantation. Eucalyptus oil burns really well, so you can imagine what a eucalyptus scrub burns like. Yeah, not there today, but there's usually a sausage sizzle on there. Sign on the side suggests they only do it on Saturdays. Sausage sizzle is where they have a barbecue, cook sausages, surprise surprise. You can buy your sausage, onions if you prefer, and a slice of bread. Add the sauce of your liking. Just a cheap, quick snack while you're out. And then you can get into arguments about whether the onions go on top of the sausage or under the sausage. I'm not going to start an internet war by saying what I prefer. These little bullets hold the line quite nicely through these sorts of corners. They're not an evil handling bike by any means. In fact, they're not evil in any respect. Just a very happy, good-natured motorcycle. I think that's why so many people love them. Of course, you're not going to win any races in the gorge. You're not going to drag off anyone. If you want to do that sort of thing, you buy yourself a sports bike. And if you're going to travel from here to Melbourne, well, you need to take your time, or you buy yourself a touring bike. But for a reliable bike to ride to and from work and to go out for a weekend jaunt, they're pretty good. Isn't it a pity that Royal Enfield aren't making the big 500 sequel anymore? So if you've got a hankering for one of these bikes, grab it now before the final stocks are sold out. And here we are at Williamstown. I believe we're going to stop for a bakery lunch.